I remember being 8 years old and standing on the corner in my neighborhood with my arms full of books, waiting for the bookmobile to come around, and the whole idea of getting books to people, putting books into people's hands, that really stayed with me. Prior to purchasing and opening the bookshops, I worked in education, and I always envisioned a place where people could gather to read books and talk about books and get new ideas from books. More and more, we're seeing books published about women, about strong women, about women succeeding in politics and business and sports and life in general. I think it's an inspiring time for women. And when you think about this year, how we're celebrating the 100th anniversary of the woman's right to vote, it's an amazing time to celebrate women. My name is Glenda Childs, and I am the owner of the Doylestown and Lahaska Bookshops.
I've always fancied myself a small town runaway. I was born and raised in Doylestown, and I never quite appreciated growing up in a small town. I always was fascinated by the big city and the energy that it brought, and always thought, man, I gotta break out of this popsicle stand. So as soon as I possibly could, I moved to Philly and then eventually on to New York City. Being a woman, especially a single mom in the restaurant industry, can be very tough. But every time I'd try to leave, I would always come back. I'd miss the constant problem solving, the new faces, always being in motion. I actually got my start in nightlife and learned the ins and outs of every position that I possibly could, and eventually worked my way up to managing and being part of opening teams in New York City restaurants. Finally, I just decided to bring my experience back home with me to Bucks County. I made it my mission to create an environment where everyone would be treated with respect and empathy, and where everyone would feel like part of the family, whether an employee or a guest, where basic good food and good ingredients were at the heart of it. My name is Danna Markulin, and I am the owner of FresCafe Food Company.
I've always loved fashion. As a child, my grandmother inspired me to become a fashion buyer. And with that in mind, I eventually moved to New York City and drove into the fashion industry. Knowing that I wanted to one day own my own business, my father-in-law offered to fund my first boutique. And in 1988, I opened Lace Silhouettes Lingerie in Peddler's Village. Now, in 2020, I own 5 stores in Peddler's Village and another 5 in the region. As you progress through the successful opening of a business, you have to constantly reevaluate how you plan to grow and how you plan to stay relevant, whether you're at the 2-year or you're at a 10-year or you're at a 100-year mark. I think it's always best to lead by example. Listen to your customers, listen to your team, and be conscious of what's going on around you. Your people are the most important part of your business. My name is Thompson, and I'm the owner of LSL Brands.